is going to hit record, and then Carrie is going to start. I'm so glad everyone could join us.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Team Empower Wellness event and to Plexus, if this is your first time hearing about it. My name's Carrie Blum. I'm currently right now in North Carolina, and I'm a certified health and life coach and a Plexus ambassador. I have been using the product consistently for almost a year, but I have dabbled for many years, kind of as I kind of went on different journeys throughout my life. And part of that's because I was always a really healthy person. So just to share a little backstory about me, I'll share a little bit about my testimony, and then I'm going to share as a health coach kind of what the products are and why they do what they do. So basically, yeah, I was really healthy-ish my whole life. I mean, I was at a reasonable weight. I always had tons of energy as a teenager and young adult. And although I did struggle my whole entire life with insomnia, but I just thought that was a glitch within my own body that I kind of struggled with since I was little. And so as I got older, I really started to struggle with symptoms that I had never experienced before. Or maybe I'd heard other people talk about them, but I was like, oh, that's old people problems or that's other people problems. And then I started realizing that I was kind of having some of the same issues. So, my weight started fluctuating, and I'd always been able to maintain, I could work out really heavy for a week and get those last couple pounds back off. Well, I was working out like crazy and not seeing a change in my body shape. I was experiencing a lot of intestinal distress, which I'd never had before. I was like, oh, well, my parents are lactose intolerant. I'm not lactose intolerant, and I'm not drinking milk. So it must not be that. It must be something else. And so just little things that I didn't realize were actually happening, but were creeping up on me, especially as I was getting closer to 40 and beyond. And so things I didn't even know I was struggling with, like inflammation. I didn't realize that pain in my joints, that was always because I worked out too hard or I overdid it or I extended myself. But then I was starting to realize that it was constant. And then I was starting to have hormonal mood swings, which, most people attribute to the teenage years or to different phases of life. Like I wasn't a teenager and I wasn't menopausal. So why am I having all these crazy mood swings? So just noticing a lot of things going on in my own body that just didn't sit right with me. And it didn't matter how much I worked out or adjusted my diet or tried different little lifestyle glitches. I couldn't fix the problem. And it started to get overwhelming that I was just like old, frumpy, dumpy, unenergetic, moody, and just not the best version of myself. So I had tried the triplex and saw great results, but I wasn't consistent. And so what I realized was that I kind of needed the whole package. I needed to do some adjusting in my own life and get some healthy habits started, but I really did need some help. And these supplements are the exact thing that I love, because since being on the triplex, I may not work out consistently. I may not, even as a health coach, eat healthy consistently. I do the best that I can, but I love my glass of wine in the evenings, or I like my weekends going out to eat. But I consistently take my supplements. It's the one thing that I will not let go of and will not let myself fall off the wagon. So since being on the triplex, I've been able to, maintain my weight steadily. I feel lighter. I have more energy. I've been able to just sleep good solid sleep for the first time in my life. It may not be every night, but I am able to fall asleep because I don't have that stress and anxious energy in my body anymore. And so I've shared Plexus and the triplex with a couple of my friends, and now it's so rewarding because I get to see the results it's having on their lives, whether it's shedding those last 10 pounds and keeping it off, having the energy to get through a really stressful workday, or just being regular and getting rid of inflammation or other issues, mood swings, brain fog, things that they're having in their lives. So we talk about now, when my girlfriends and I, many who are on the call, get together, we talk about these things. And it's things that people who aren't in touch with their health really aren't talking about. But we are starting to hear more about gut health. It is becoming more mainstream, and the gut brain axis or connection is something that you're hearing about, not just in the medical field, because they have been really amping up studies and research in that area, but it's things that are becoming more mainstream. And anybody in the health and wellness area, health coaches, personal trainers, dietitians, they're all talking about how to get healthy from the inside out, because you can, lift the weights, you can jog the miles, you can eat the kale, but there's a lot going on inside our bodies that if you don't get under control, it can become overwhelming. So you're hearing a lot more and more of that, both from the medical community and other people. And you're starting to see people around you suffering from all these ailments, from thyroid imbalances and from hormonal issues, premenopausal, or even, like I said, having symptoms like that before even hitting certain ages. More and more people are being diagnosed with Crohn's and lupus and diabetes, Hashimoto's, things like that, celiacs, intolerances to different foods and things like that. So a lot of that is because our guts have gotten out of balance, and it does actually affect your brain and vice versa. It is cyclical, how those two things interact with each other. So just you can Google literally gut health and any symptom, and it'll talk about getting your gut imbalance. You might heard of leaky gut, stopping a leaky gut, and things like that. So it's definitely become more and more prominent as something that we talk about. So you might hear those of us in Plexus mention the microbiome. That's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about all the different organisms living in your intestines, which is essentially your gut. And so a lot of those, we walk around with hundreds of those different species in our gut, and some of those are very good for us, right? Like we remember Jamie Lee Curtis doing Activia commercials, like, eat your probiotics, it's good for your gut, makes your tummy feel better. And there was something to that. So there is something to getting good, healthy micro organisms in your gut, in your microbiome, but there's also harmful ones that already are existing. So we do need to do what they say at Plexus, which is weed, seed, and feed your gut so that you feel all healthy from the inside out. And that means that you are enhancing all your system functions, from your just your blood pressure, your symptoms of your mental health, your depression and anxiety, symptoms of overweight or obesity that you can't seem to stabilize, cravings, blood sugar, and so many other things that stem from that gut health. So those are the kinds of things that we're talking about when we talk about an unhealthy, leaky gut, IBS, things like that. There's two basically things that we're talking about. One is yeast overgrowth, which exists naturally in your body, but there's so many things out there that affect the levels of yeast in your system, from antibiotics, which if you're a female, you may have heard that, right? Like antibiotics can cause a lot of yeast overgrowth and unpleasant side effects, but everybody has that, female or not, and antibiotics or not, because there's environmental factors that contribute to that. So getting that yeast under control, if you've had fatigue or unexplained weight gain, mood swings, or even some of your allergies, seasonal allergies, some of that can be due to yeast overgrowth. So that's one of the issues that gets our gut sort of out of whack. The other one is our insulin sensitivity. That's what we typically refer to as blood sugar levels. So balanced blood sugar, or getting your blood sugar levels intact. Again, those are things that affect both men and women, but with us females, we see them in hormonal balances, thyroid, your cortisol levels, and so much more. So obviously, as a health coach, I'm always steering people away from diets and towards the goal of eating healthy and really getting your blood sugar balanced throughout your day, and also trying to attack that yeast overgrowth, because most likely all of us have it. If you've even if you're a super healthy person that tends to watch what you eat, if you have some of those spurts where you're not exactly eating the healthiest, or like I said, it could even be environmental changes, then chances are you have some yeast overgrowth. So one of my biggest recommendations is that you've got to get some antioxidants, some prebiotics and probiotics, and then just keep your vitamin and mineral levels consistent. And guess what? That's where Plexus comes in, because instead of going on Amazon or to Whole Foods or wherever, the health food store, and getting overwhelmed by shelves and shelves of all these, do I need vitamin D? Do I need vitamin B? Do I need vitamin C? Do I need potassium? Do I need, magnesium? Yes, the answer is yeah, you probably need all of that. But you got to make it simple, because you're not going to stick to taking 80 pills a day. What you're going to do is find a system that works for you. And that's where the triplex comes in so beautifully, because after using the products consistently for several months, we've seen people have amazing breakthroughs in their health. And you're going to hear some great stories tonight, much more exciting than my own. But I have this great energy level. I sleep better. I'm just more consistent in my mood, and that's enough for me. But being able to keep extra weight off and have other benefits is a bonus as I start to age even more. And you'll see a lot of us really, truly, if you get to know us. I mean, some of these ladies on this call are truly aging reverse. They're just looking more and more glowing every day. So before I let you hear a little bit about them, let me just share real quick our triplex, because you will hear us mention that. That's our flagship of 3 different products. It's the famous pink drink, which we call Slim. It should really be called Yum. It's a delicious drink that you can mix in with water. I no longer drink coffee in the mornings. I have my Slim first thing in the morning. A lot of us do that, especially for intermittent fasting, to break our fast. And I just sip it in the winter with warm water as like my little tea or coffee replacement beverage. And in warmer months, I drink it right before my workout to give me that boost to get me through. I'm also a late day crasher. I used to have those cravings late in the day and have to have a pick me up, to keep me going. And this works just as well at 4 p.m. as it does at 8 a.m. or 6 a.m. or whatever time you're taking it. So the pink drink is just amazing. It's our flagship product. It has amazing things in it that really help even out the levels of your bloodstream, so that your body is not looking to burn, like it's looking to burn fat instead of the things that it would normally burn, like storing the fat and burning your carbs and protein. So it helps turn all of that into energy. It lowers your bad cholesterol and raises your good cholesterol levels. It keeps a good steady balance on cravings, to where your blood sugar is balanced and you're not craving whatever it is, salty, sweet, diet sodas, caffeine throughout the day. It helps promote healthy blood pressure levels. I mean, there's so much that just that little drink does to really, and I mentioned it first because it is our favorite. You'll see us making selfies and posting about it. So that's kind of our true flagship product. But that's really where, when you talk about weed, seed, and feed, so weed out the harmful gut microbes, and that's the BioCleanse. This is my favorite product. I take it religiously because it helps do a gentle detox and cleanse of your body. And it really does help weed out any of the harmful microbes in your gut. And then we seed it, meaning we plant all the good, healthy things that we need with our probiotics. That's our ProBio 5. And then we feed it, meaning we help it continue to flourish and grow. We keep that natural, healthy gut flora going with our pink drink. So those are our flagship products. They really do work with a variety of different things. I tell everybody to start there. So if you're new to Plexus, that's a great place to start. Of course, talk to the person who brought you onto the call, and they'll help give you recommendations about where to start. Our product this month, I never mention other products, but I do want to mention that our Vial Biome is the product of the month in April. And so there's still time to get it and get some perks along with trying that. That's a whole nother level of probiotics that really do target mood stabilizing. And so for those of you who have men in your lives that don't necessarily suffer from PMS, but maybe just need a little mood stabilizer, it's good for them too. So just something that we have in our household all the time. I love it. It's a great addition to the triplex. We have amazing collagen and Joyum skincare line that is just phenomenal and easy peasy. So I'm going to stop talking and let these ladies share with you all the benefits that they've seen from Plexus. Thank you for being here and welcome.
Thank you, Carrie. It was great to hear your story again. I always love hearing your story. I'm Michelle Larscheid. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I moved to Raleigh about 1.5 years ago, and I was not feeling good. I was going to be turning 50, and I started feeling like I was getting some of that menopause, premenopause, menopause. I really wasn't sure where I was in that process, but I was hurting my hips, my joints, my knees, my feet hurt. They ached. I was gaining weight. I was bloated. I wasn't going to the bathroom. Nobody really talks about bathroom issues, but I wasn't going regularly, which I didn't know that you were supposed to. I was craving sugar. I was craving Diet Coke. Had this, I don't even know how to describe it. It was kind of like a brain fog where I couldn't really concentrate. Things would be fuzzy, and I thought, gosh, I'm only getting 50. This shouldn't be happening. I of course started having some hot flashes. I was having trouble sleeping. I was very, very moody. So it was kind of like the perfect storm. All of these things were happening at once. And normally I'm a pretty healthy person, but I was kind of at my wit's end. And so I decided to go to my doctor, and I went to my doctor, and he listened to everything I just said, but he wanted to prescribe me with an antidepressant. And if you know me, that's just not for me. I felt like that was not getting to the root issue of my problems. And I didn't feel like he really listened to me. So I came home and I cried. And that's when I called my friend Michelle, who I'd seen her posting about a pink drink and gut health and microbiome and all those keywords, buzzwords I didn't know anything about. And I just said, do you have something that can help me? And she said, absolutely. And so I just went on faith. I didn't even know what I was doing. And I just started taking it. And the first thing that I noticed was that I didn't crave my Diet Coke. I wasn't craving sugar. So that was big for me because I was a big Diet Coke fan. And then I started noticing I was going to the bathroom more regularly every day. I was like, wow, this is a miracle. This is great. My eyes were puffy, my fingers were puffy, my feet had been puffy, and that started going away. And what I didn't realize is the role that inflammation was playing in my body. Since I have learned more about Plexus and how it works, I have learned that inflammation is really, you can really be silently suffering and not even know it. And so getting rid of that inflammation has really helped. And then my stomach, I wasn't bloated anymore. That brain fog lifted. My kids were saying, Mom, why are you so happy? And I finally, was in a better mood. And I think, that serotonin, so much of your serotonin comes from your gut. And I feel like that really needed to get balanced out. And I was just in such a better mood. Plus I was feeling better, right? And I was looking better. I was starting to see changes in my body. And really, I think I lost about 10 pounds, but I really look like I probably lost like 25 because of all the inflammation that I was carrying. I just had no idea that I was carrying all that inflammation. So I have been on the products. I'm on the Triplex that Carrie mentioned for about 1.5 years, and I will not go a day without it because it makes me feel so good. This fall I had a colonoscopy because when you turn 50, that's what you have to do. And I had to go off my products for about 2 weeks. They wanted you to go off everything, and I did not feel good. I needed to get back on those products right away because I just felt icky. I just didn't feel like myself. So I know that they're doing wonderful, amazing things for me. And now I have my daughter on them, my son, and my husband. And so I would never put anything in my body that I didn't feel like was right and healthy for us. And now I've got my family on them, and my family loves them as much too. So that is my testimony, and I wanted to share that with you all. And now I'm going to pass it over to Sandy Williamson, and she is a nurse, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her story. Sandy? I think you're on mute, Sandy.
How's that? That better?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Hey, everybody. My name is Sandy Williamson. My journey began 1 year ago. I just had my anniversary of 1 year of consistently using the Plexus Triplex products. I found these products on Instagram through a neighbor and a friend, Monica, who was posting about the pink drinks and stuff. In 2018, I had to have a hysterectomy due to some health issues. And of course, they say, oh, it's not going to throw you in menopause. You'll be fine. I am still young. I'm only 46 years old, but it threw me directly into surgical menopause. So for 1 year, I was at my wit's end. No sleeping, weight, your hormones. I had no hormones in my body whatsoever, on and off different types of hormone replacement therapies. I felt like a crazy person. I mean, I'll be completely honest. I was on Instagram one day sitting in the Harris Teeter parking lot before I was going into the dreaded grocery store. And I saw Monica post the pink drink and something else, and she was offering these samples. So I messaged her immediately. That day changed everything else for me, I will say. I was skeptical as a nurse because, in medicine, they don't talk about, all these products that aren't mainstream. They don't come with prescriptions. They don't come with, all these recommendations in the published medical journals, so to speak. Well, I'm here to tell you the stuff works consistently for 1 year. Like I said, I've been on these products. I sleep better. My weight does not fluctuate at all. I'm no longer on my hormone replacement therapy. And I will tell you that I do eat clean and I do exercise regularly. I know that helps, but I feel like a person again. I feel like I have a more positive outlook. My stress level is down, and I know it's because I'm sleeping. I know it's because my brain is functioning. My body is functioning the way that it should function. I don't crave the drinks, the coffee, the caffeine that I craved. I do drink it. I do eat it. I don't deprive myself, but I don't crave it anymore like I did. My hormone balance or lack thereof, or whatever you want to call it, I feel like I'm more in tune, more even keel all the way around. I don't miss these products, as far as not taking them. They travel with me. Even if I have to, hide them in my bags to get them through the airport, I will order the special sample packs just to take with me, places. I've had a few people ask me about it, and I have, offered them samples, shared with samples. It's an amazing product, and it truly has changed my life personally. And it's fascinating and amazing to hear other people talk about it, out in the community. If I post a picture on Instagram of a pink drink, or I post it and give it to Monica, that's usually what happens. And she'll post it and people are like, is that a pink drink? What is that? Is that Plexus? And I'll tell them about it. So, I haven't, been really pushing the products themselves, but if anyone ever asks me about them, I am more than vocal about how I feel. The collagen works great. The protein powder is wonderful. My daughter's 18 years old, and she's even taken some of the products that I'm taking with me, and it's helped her, and she's got IBS. So it is amazing stuff. And that's really all that I can tell you. Just keep saying over and over at how wonderful and how much it has actually changed me personally in my life for the absolute better. So with that said, I'm going to introduce Jennifer Lupinacci. Please, Jennifer, don't be upset if I mess the name up, but I'm going to introduce her and let you hear about her story.
Hello, everyone, and very good. You pronounced it correctly. Not too many people get it right. I am Jennifer Lupinacci. I'm a special education teacher from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, real close to the airport in Pittsburgh. I wanted to hop on. It's my daughter's birthday today. We just had 9 little girls leave here, but I wanted to hop on real quick because I wanted to mention my daughter. I have recently joined a couple groups on Facebook that have to do with kids and plexus. And my daughter had the same, I was doing her hair one day for her cheer competition, and I looked on the back of her neck and she had this growth on the back of her neck. It was like discolored skin, you know, a little bit brown, a little bit red. And it was, it sent me spinning because it was the same thing that I had experienced since I was age of 13. And the only thing that has gotten rid of the tinea versicolor on my skin, which is a fungus that grows on your skin, was the triplex, specifically the ProBio. I mean, the BioCleanse swept it away. You know, the pink feeds all the good things that help me sleep better. Same thing that the other women said, better mood. Overall, just happier, able to deal with stress. I mean, there's so much. But the skin condition, the probiotic, when I have felt myself like not take as much or skip a couple days, I can feel it almost coming back. So I will be on the probiotic for the rest of my life. And I gave it to my daughter. She can swallow pills. So I just gave her the supplement. 2 days later, it was gone. So, you know, my daughter only needed the probiotic to get rid of the skin condition. My problem growing up was never weight, but I tell people everybody gets it differently with the gut health when you're deteriorating from the inside by eating all of these processed foods and toxins and the things that we eat, along with environmental factors and just not always putting the best things in our body. I did not gain weight, but my skin was hollering for me to find something. So I prayed for something to help me, and I have found that this has helped me. So if you have skin issues or, you know, just anything with sugar issues, I had sugar issues as well, it is a godsend. I also want to just mention briefly that my husband was very skeptical as I was in the beginning, and he pushes the collagen on everybody because he has played softball, baseball, been an athlete since the age of 8. And his body just was hurting him. He couldn't turn his neck a certain way, you know, doing different types of things. And he takes the collagen now along with me, and he just got his boss to buy some collagen. So I would say there's a product here for everybody. The triplex is definitely for everybody, but anything that you're looking at to try to change, there's something out there that the person who invited you to watch this tonight can help you with. And we're all here for each other. So I want to thank you for joining us tonight. April's a great month to join. It's $9.95 as opposed to $39.95 to join. And you also get a code SAM 2020 to get an additional 10% off. I also believe right now there's a Mother's Day special going on. I just had a friend buy one, a beautiful necklace, and it has prices that like would normally be over $200. So this is a really good time to do this, and summer's very close. And I would say at least have the conversation with the person that invited you here to find something that will help you feel better and have more energy and help any ailment that you may be experiencing. So I want to thank everybody for speaking tonight. It was great to hear everyone's testimonies and the education and see all these lovely faces. And we want to thank you. Have a wonderful Thursday and a great weekend. Take great care. Bye-bye.